Hey guys, what's going on? It's Blockbo right back now, bringing you the latest episode. Now, I hope all you guys can hear me back at home, because I've literally just uploaded a video, and for whatever reason, I think it's the sound drive on the Windows laptop. Okay, that keeps resetting, so it keeps resetting back to 8 when it needs to be 100. It needs to be maxed out so you guys can hear me. Anyhow, I'm here now. So, yeah, let's record this video for you guys. So, I want to cover today the Ethereum spot ETF, how the SEC might approve the ETH ETF spot tomorrow. No hype, no retail interest. This is a perfect setup for Ethereum to melt faces. I agree with you, mate. But exactly like Bitcoin retraced, and then all of a sudden it went on a massive rampage as well. So look at this tweet here by Luke. Easy to look at the ETH chart and forget the spot ETFs got approved. That marked the local top with price down 12%. Yeah, I remember Bitcoin price, retracing before it actually went off to the market. So Bitcoin actually did the same thing immediately after the spot ETF approval, before ripping up 90% to new yearly highs. So this, guys, could be the catalyst in the market for Ethereum. Now let's just have a look, see if we've got the Ethereum chart in the watch list. I have added it across here. So this is Ethereum price right now, currently trading at 33.11. So let's just take a look. We'll do a measure move, see what sort of predictions and price targets we can expect from Ethereum. Now, going from the bottom here after the peak, we'll just go from the weekly closes all the way up there. 50% on top of these wicks. That was about 728% return. That was from the bottom, obviously. So yeah, we're looking at about 8,900 in terms of dollars, in terms of price for Ethereum. Now that's just a measured move, so that'll be my interim target. That's not to say Ethereum can't go much higher than that. Now let's take a look, see what the Fibonacci targets are saying. Come on, buddy. Here we go now. So from the top down to the bottom to these weekly closes. Let's see where this is taking us. So this is taking us to approximately $17,500. Now let's just have a look in terms of return. So say, for example, the high of Ethereum is going to be about 17.5. Divide that by current price action, 33.08. So we're looking at about a 5.3x return for Ethereum. So it's not bad, but guys, we're not here for a 5x in the markets. We are here for more cheddar. We have not waited and endured all this pain in the crypto market for a 5x. Come on now, guys. So we want to be, let's have a look at Xrp and Xdc and Velo as well, because this is where the gains are at. Now I'm going to go over the linear chart and also the log chart as well. Let's turn this around. That's better. Do you like my new living room, guys? Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Anyhow, log scale, linear chart. What are we on here? So this is a linear chart. Now if I flick over to the log scale, the TA is all marked out here. Yeah, and I've got the end of this wedge coming to the beginning of January 2025. So, and I've just marked out, highlighted here where we are in the current price action, and then obviously this impulse here up 37%. Yes, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if we get this 37% rise, we know to respect the log scale as opposed to the linear chart, as the linear chart at the moment is stipulating that we can expect a breakout as early as next week. So we're going to find out pretty soon whether or not the linear chart or the log chart is going to prevail. So here we go again, close, 2 near misses. And then we've got these other sort of price action going on. And then obviously we can bring this down here. So I've got, let's delete some of this TA from the log chart. Let's clear it up a little bit. So you can see here how this sort of price approaches the apex. So this vertical line here stipulating 8th of July. So that means linear chart has us breaking out some point next week. So that could be alongside the Ethereum spot ETF, for example. Who knows? Who knows what the catalyst is going to be? Maybe a settlement in the SEC case. Doesn't really matter what sort of news comes out. All I'm interested in is price action right now. So as you can see, XRP is on the right side. We've already broke out. We've already retested, in my opinion. Whether or not we get down to this sort of 40 cent mark, I can bring that blue line up a little bit. I'm going to bring it up to about there, just to get these closes in underneath. And then we can also bring that up there. So we're pretty much there, guys, now. So whether or not we drop to about 42, 43, 44 cent, who cares? But we're literally trading just above 46 cent at the minute. So it's not a massive correction if we was to experience any downside. So the risk to reward ratio on XRP, in my opinion, is absolutely phenomenal. So any new money coming into the markets, I would strongly consider buying a big bag of XRP with the money to spare. Anyway, that's XRP. Let's take a look. We'll take a look at Velo, and then we'll take a look at XDC as well. So again, guys, we're just on the linear chart here. We can flick over to the log chart soon. Now, Velo has actually capitulated. So initially, we was talking about this red trend line acting as support. Obviously, price action hasn't got enough respect for that, so it's fallen through the wedge. And I've talked about this. Obviously, Velo could grind or pinball around this apex here before September, when interest rates will be slashed, which will be good news for the crypto market. That again will be another catalyst for the crypto to all get going. But let's just measure down now from current price action to the bottom of that support. So you're talking about 12%. So the risk involved with Velo is 12%. Obviously, you've got this trend line here, which has been going since October 23. So that's quite a solid, well-respected trend line. Obviously, that isn't much support, in my opinion. There's not enough structure there to consider it as strong support, hence why the price action has fallen through. So yeah, I expect a 12% dip on Velo, and then it's pretty much good to go then, guys. We might play out for a bit. It might be a bit of accumulation before distribution, before we start hitting that purple box there, supply and demand zone, which I've had marked out now for I don't know, a couple of months maybe, something like that. Now let's get on to XDC. So XDC is very difficult to read on the bottom trend line. Now this top trend line here, which is why I've left it in, is highly respected. You know, so much respect. So this trend line here is obviously solid resistance. So this is ultimately what XDC needs to crack. We need to crack, literally, it doesn't sound a lot, but if we crack around 3.5 cent, we are pretty much good to go. Whether or not we crack that resistance, then retest, which tends to happen quite a lot, and then we're off to the markets, who knows. But it's looking really good for XDC. Now, the one thing that I'm struggling to identify with XDC, and I don't mind holding my hands up, because you know some of you viewers might be able to depict where the support trend line would be placed and where it would be positioned. Because initially, I did have support going along here, yeah, around here. So that initially was my support. Obviously, we dipped under here. Now, if I just scroll in for you guys, something along here, because we get quite a lot of bounces. See one bounce, capitulation, yeah, undecisive or indecisive, still indecisive, boom, again we're respecting that support, and then we bounce, and that's where we make that massive impulse. So massive impulse, it's kind of a test of the ceiling, test of resistance. Okay, so if we was to stretch that out there, we could have had an apex, we could have had the triangle there, so we could have said, look, XDC is pretty much good to go, we are going to run up. Obviously, XDC has capitulated here. So that's why in my previous video, I had to start drawing the bottom trend line, acting as support from inception, and then I had to account for this bottom here, because obviously that would align with this current price action here. So you can see how this lines up now, so it's accommodated now for this low. Now, XDC has broken this next support where I've drawn it in lower, and this again I've had to go to the extreme of cloning that, obviously, to come up with this sort of channel, parallel channel. Okay, because we're accommodating for these lows down here, these closes. So whether or not XDC is going to get down there to about 2.5 cents. Now, if you watch the previous video, you will be aware of this current price action. So literally, this is what we are waiting for right now. We are literally waiting for, it's very difficult again to identify the apex, but we are literally waiting for price to break that 3.5 cent barrier. That's all we need to break, guys, and then, you know, we are on the correct side of history. What else have we got? Take a quick look at, let's have a look at WTK, because that's obviously built on XDC as well. You can see these previous runs once we do. Well, you got this bottom, let's move myself out there, you got this megaphone highlighted with the red trend lines. And every time we hit the bottom trend line, you get this significant return. So there you go, within a week, 600%, within a couple of weeks 400%, again within 2 or 3 weeks 200%. Not quite hit the bottom there, but again we still get a significant rally to the top of the megaphone at 300%, and we've done something similar here which I can highlight. So there, we're bounced off, and this is where we're at now. So I do expect us to get to the top of megaphone, so nothing has changed there. WTK is still a really good buy. Obviously it's not nice buying in a red week, but that's what you got to do if you want to make some serious returns in the markets. I can have a quick look at H-bar as well, actually. Again, look at this. So again, I'll be looking at breaking this upper red trend line here. Now, in my opinion, I believe H-bar has obviously broke out to the downside here, so this would be my sort of TA, if you will. Now let's just have a look at this blue line as well, why this is significant. Obviously the beginning of the exchange, the data here. Get these weekly closes underneath, tap, boom. Wick down, test, capitulation, test, rejection, test, rejection, test. We've actually poked above, fallen down, poked above. We've also had a liquidity spike as well, so it looks like we're clearing orders up here. So H-bar's in a really good position as well. Obviously it's scary to buy once you see TA breaking down, but a lot of the times you do see feints in the market, especially with price action, to you know, for people that are covering TA and for people that are obviously watching these types of videos, you know, it might put a little bit of fear of God into, you know, crypto holders. So Xrp, should I say, Xrp did exactly the same thing before the 2017 run. Actually brought down at the tip of the wedge, a little bit similar to this, and then before you know it, within a couple of weeks, it run up like 10x. You know, absolute some crazy gains to be had. So I think we're fairly close. Obviously, again, just to reiterate, with the spot ETF could be approved by tomorrow, and then I think they're looking at the middle of July before it actually becomes live. I'm just seeing if there's a tweet down here. Yeah, there's a tweet down here by Nate. So amendment by July the 8th. This is what he's saying anyway. Like I said, there's rumours it could be approved tomorrow. He's saying the amendment could be by July 8th. Potential final submission by 12th of July. So that would theoretically mean launch week of the 15th of July. So anytime during that week, we could see you know, institutions being able to buy Ethereum. So that would be good for the altcoin market, clearly. So that's pretty much where we are now, guys. We are pretty much at perfect buying opportunities. So if you've not got a bag, you need to get, the accumulation stage is almost over before we go into this super cycle now. It's similar to being down here. We are pretty much down here, just below the blue line before obviously we get this breakout. So I expect something similar to this, if not bigger. You know, I'm just going to do a measure move on H-bar just out of interest. I'm going to take it from here, from where we broke out. I'll do a measure move there. Could even go from the wick somewhere around there. So there you go, $1.10. So that's more than possible for H-bar. Now that's just a measured move. We could also do the Fibonacci's like every other TA does, from the top of that wick. Obviously Fibonacci has got H-bar going a lot higher here, $2.28, somewhere around that sort of ball figure. So yeah, some fantastic returns to be had. We can just measure the gains there, about 27x. So that's about, I'd say that's like That's kind of the going rate, I'd say. So cryptos in the top sort of 10 are obviously going to do about a 5x, excluding obviously coins like Xrp that I believe could easily do like 60x. The reason I say 60x is because if I do visit XRP Bitcoin chart is saying XRP will do a 60x, which will take us to approximately $28. Yeah, and I'll just go over this quickly as well. So peak 1, peak 2 wedge, peak 1, peak 2 wedge. So we're going to get peak 1 up here, peak 2. So if I measure from that blue line to this blue line, it's approximately 6,000%. There you go, 6,000%. So that's like a 60x, which would put current price of XRP is, I think it's about 47 cent. 47 cents times by is 60x, $28. So that would be a good take profit region, in my opinion, for XRP. Yes, it could go higher, but is it really worth the risk? Obviously, when you know altcoins can capitulate, sub 90% in some cases, it's not really worth the risk. 60x is more than enough, I'm telling you guys now. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you smash the like button. If you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing as well. Take it easy, guys. I've been a Block Bull, over and out.